Aloha and welcome to the Planning Analytics Deep Dive, where we explore the depths of planning analytics one dive at a time. I'm Andrew, and today we're going to walk through how to create waterfall charts in Planning Analytics Workspace. We'll go over how to create two different types, what we'll call the classic type, which is used to view changes across a single dimension in TM1, and then the bridge or comparison type to see the variance between two elements in one dimension contributed by the elements within a second dimension, like a subcategory. So what we have on the screen here is an example of what we would call the classic revenue waterfall chart, or showing a P&L as a waterfall. And it looks like a straightforward chart, but it's actually not as straightforward to create as it looks, primarily because unlike the exploration that you see on your screen, the chart doesn't take into account the element weight. So in TM1, we often express numbers as positive values, and then we use the element weights to do the addition and subtraction within the hierarchy. So there's an enhancement request. It's the first link you see on your screen to include this in a future release, and it's been slated for an upcoming release. But until then, we can use MDX as a workaround, and that's what we'll look at today, to kind of look up the element weight and then create a calculated member that will reflect that we can use in our chart. So the MDX editor that we're going to look at here is, leaves a little bit to be desired, I guess I would say, in PAW. So I highly recommend using the MDX lab in ARC, and that's the second link that you see on your screen there. There's a free trial that you can download if you follow that link. Okay, so let's take a look at what we did with the MDX here. Like I said, it's a little bit messy, but so what we're doing is we're creating a calculated member. Whoops. We'll bring that up here, and we're defining that calculated member as this guy right here, right? So we are looking up the member weight of the elements in the GL account dimension, and that's represented as a string. So we're converting that to a value. It's going to be a 1 or a -1 in this case. And then multiplying that by the amount measure that you see, like that left column there, to kind of flip the signs a bit. And then we just reference that calculated member down in the select statement. Right. So that's how we get the calculated member that we're going to use for our waterfall chart. And then creating the waterfall chart itself, there's just a couple little things that we have to do here. So if you notice here, I've got my GL accounts selected. I'm not showing all of the GL accounts that I have in my exploration. So I'm just showing the ones that I want for my waterfall chart and the ones that have the appropriate weights that you're going to see, doing the addition and subtraction there. So revenue, COGS, expense, interest, and taxes. And that gives us this waterfall here. Note that I'm putting the time dimension here in the y-axis. That's just so that when you mouse over, that's the measure that you're going to see there. So you can see, COGS for Feb 2024. So it's just kind of a helpful little trick. And then in terms of the properties themselves, what we're doing here, if you come down to the chart area of the properties and the visualization area, we're using the total column rather than the net income, because that would give us a wrong number here. And then we're just naming it net income. Right. And the rest of this stuff is, you don't have to worry about it because we're not using subcategories. We'll see that in the next example. All right. So that's how we create the single waterfall chart, or the classic. And then let's take a look at the comparison, or the bridge waterfall chart. So what this is doing is it's comparing the difference between, in this case, January and February net income, but the contribution to that difference based on another dimension in TM1. Here we're looking at the regions, right? So you can see, the regions going down my rows in my exploration, and the regions as a subcategory in my waterfall chart. And the only real trick to this one is if I pop open the chart, go into edit mode here and look at the properties, you'll see that here in the chart area, I'm not using the total column. And for the subcategory values, I'm using the change, right? Not the actual value, which would give me a much different number. I'm using the change between January and February 2024, right? So if you look at the fields here, what I've got is my time, which is the sort of primary category here, and then the region as the subcategory. And, I've hidden some of the consolidated elements, but, there's still a hierarchy in here. You can drill down into, each of these guys. And so you can sort of see the constituent parts as I go down or back up. So that's pretty helpful. And you can make it a little more dynamic as well with the advent of the new advanced selector, right? So I can, synchronize multiple elements within my time dimension here. Let's say I wanted to maybe go back a month and see, the difference between December and February, right? To make my bridge chart a bit more dynamic.
All right, that's it for today's deep dive on waterfall charts in PAW. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Until then, remember to keep doing good, TM1.